11 News reporter Montana Shaum.
11 News reporter Montana Shaum.
Kringlen hit a two-run inside the park home run to boost the Cougs past the St. Mary Gales 7-6. It was BYU's first inside the park home run since 2009. The Cougs will continue to practice here in Provo until they head down to St. George on March 17th. They hold a special practice open to the public. Then on March 25th, Saturday at 1 p.m., the Cougs will host their annual spring football game. According to ESPN insider Chad Ford, Eric Mika is projected a mid-second round draft pick. Mika is hopeful that he will be the next BYU player selected in the NBA draft, following the footsteps of Jimmer Fredette and Trent Plaisted. Cougs boast a 23-3 record here all-time against Hawaii here in the Smith Fieldhouse and an all-time series record of 38 wins and 18 losses. The Cougs will host the Rainbow Warriors this Friday and Saturday.
Montana, what was the atmosphere like?
Zach, it was a fun and energetic evening last night. BYU athletes were in a more informal setting and they really enjoyed themselves. My favorite part from last night had to be Jamal Williams' speech. When he came here to BYU, he was a 17-year-old boy. But now that he's leaving, he's a 22-year-old man. And the best part of it all, he was able to showcase his swag by wearing a bright pink vest. Zach? I'm Montana Shaum. At least CougTube is not going against St. Mary's today, so we should be fine. It's time for the Tube. Klay Thompson scored 60 points in 3 quarters Monday for the Golden State Warriors. He and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant will be in Salt Lake City Thursday night. But before that, the Jazz have some business to take care of. Former Jazzman Earl Watson and the Phoenix Suns in town. Rudy making things difficult on the young Suns. He had 4 blocks. Gordon was 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Finished with 28 points. Fourth quarter, the Jazz would let up on the pedal and the Suns go on a 28-9 run. Chris Dudley hit 3 big threes off the bench, and Leandro Barbosa ties the game at 103 with 3 minutes left. Are the Jazz going to choke? Rudy won't have it. This clinched the victory. Wow! Rudy with a career high 22. The Jazz have won 7 of their last 8 with the Warriors coming to town on Thursday. One BYU women's soccer player is living her dream of representing the U.S. in the soccer world. CougTube reporter Paige Barker has more on this rising star and what field she hopes to play on next. The Cougs must have left all the momentum in the kennel when they upset Gonzaga. Monday night wasn't the same result. Joe Rehan with the toss to Jock Landell for the layup. Yoli Childs backs down, spins, and hits the 2-point jumper. This is as close as it would get. St. Mary's caught fire early as Emmett Nahr drains the 3 and they never look back. TJ Hawes at the top of the arc. Corbin Kafusi sets the screen and Hawes takes it to the rim for the huge and 1. Hawes had a team-high 13 points. Rehan with the toss inside of the Aussie center. Landell with the sweet hook shot for 2. Landell was a forced down low for the Gels, netting a game-high 22 points. Yoli Childs drives to the rim and knocks down the 2-point to cut the lead to 12. In the second half, Elijah Bryant on the drive, kick out pass to Mika for 2, got into foul trouble early and only finished with 10 points. Hawes on the drive, pulls back, and gets buckets. The Cougs fall to St. Mary's 81-50, making it the worst loss of the season. We want to welcome today's CougTube guest, Riley Gates, a pitcher on the BYU baseball team. Riley, it's great to have you on today's show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me be here.
Absolutely. So how did you get started in baseball?
So how I got started was my dad was a big baseball fan, and when we were younger, me and my brother, he'd always take us to out and back, and we were pretty similar ages, and he'd always teach us how to hit and throw and do everything, and just kind of started from there, and all of a sudden, now I'm here.
Awesome. The rest is history. So you went to Snow Canyon, had back-to-back state titles. What was that? How special was that for you?
You know, that was awesome because the year before, in 2012, we had a couple wins taken away from us, and the only way we could do it, even go to playoffs, was to win out and have a playing game just to make it to playoffs, and we were fortunate to do that. And so, you know, we were hot at the right time, and it was fortunate for us to win the state championship that year. And then the next year, one of our starting players in 2012 actually passed away, and so it was a pretty emotional year, and we came back and won 2 in the state championship in 2013, which was awesome as well.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome. So why did you choose BYU over Arizona, LSU, other schools?
You know what? As I was getting down to the time to think about where I was going, I really decided to serve a mission. And there's not too many schools around the country that will hold your scholarship for that time. And when I came to BYU, it was something different. It was special. It was a very spiritual atmosphere. To be honest, I was a big Ute fan growing up. I love watching the football team, and my cousin actually plays for them right now. But I was never a BYU fan, and then I got here and things changed. The coaches were awesome, very welcoming, and I knew that I could trust them, and that's where it went.
Good for you. So how is it playing for Coach Littlewood?
You know, it's awesome. You know, he's a very intense guy, and he wants to win, and we're on the same page, so I love it.
Well, best of luck to the rest of the season, and especially this weekend at home. And thanks for joining us. BYU legend. So, listen, spring training starts Monday. Are you excited? What are you kind of feeling going back into football training?
I'm excited. I'm excited to go out and kick some footballs and, get better as a team. But it's just going to be fun to strap on the helmet again and kind of have some fun, even though we're still quite a way out before the season starts. 4th and 19 play. What was going through your mind when you were asked by Coach Kalani Sitake to run it? And it looks like you tweeted out a few days ago, write a sad story, you only using 3 words, and you used 4th and 19. Yeah, when they called the play, I knew it was going to make for some good tweets later, whether it was successful or not. So I was all for that. But no, I don't know. I thought, man, it was probably not going to work, but I'm going to trust the coaching staff and just try my best to do what I can. And I didn't do a very good job at that, but it was fun. We'd do it again. That's what Coach Sitake keeps saying.
Baseball season is in full swing, and one BYU baseball player is racking up the awards for his performance on the field. 11 News reporter Montana Shaum goes in depth with a look at the star student athlete.
From hits to catches, sophomore baseball player Keaton Kringlen is stealing the spotlight. Kringlen hasn't skipped a beat from his breakout freshman season, and this year is no different.
Keaton's just a guy who shows up every day, and he gives everything he's got.
The star sophomore outfielder took home the Player of the Week award given by the West Coast Conference and national source BaseballNews.com. Yeah, baby! Kringlen brought home the honors after batting .571, going 8 for 14 in 4 games with 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. He helped the Cougs beat its arch rival Utah and sweeping conference foe St. Mary's.
Last week was a fun week for sure. Lots of excitement at the plate and in the field.
Kringlen hit a 2-run inside the park home run to boost the Cougs past the St. Mary Gales 7-6. It was BYU's first inside the park home run since 2009. Coach Mike Littlewood is not surprised by Kringlen's success on the field this season.
The way he approaches every single day. We knew he could hit. I mean, he's hit at every single level. But just the way he approaches every single day.
And what a catch! Not only is Kringlen bringing a spark to the team, but according to Coach Littlewood, Kringlen's personality is what makes him so special.
He literally comes out with a smile on his face every day and doesn't change. If he goes 0 for 4, he's the same guy the next day. If he goes 4 for 4, he doesn't get full of himself. And so he plays with high energy, and it's really contagious.
Kringlen and the Cougars look to make a push in the WCC standings this week as they head to California for a 3-game series as they take on the Pacific Tigers. Reporting from Miller Park, Montana Shaum, 11 News.
Sophomore center Eric Mika is declaring for the NBA draft. Mika will test the waters of the NBA and will maintain his college eligibility by not hiring an agent. 11 Sports reporter Montana Shaum has an in-depth look at the big man's next level potential.
From dunks to blocks, Eric Mika is drawing attention after his breakout sophomore season. The first-team All-West Coast Conference player netted 20.3 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks per game.
The conclusion that this is the best thing for me right now and what I want to do with my life and where I want to be. And so here we are.
By declaring for the NBA draft, Mika will be able to work out for NBA teams starting April 25th.
I expect to do well. You know, I wouldn't be entering my name. I wouldn't be making, I guess, a big deal about it if I wasn't expecting to do well and get drafted.
The NBA will host a draft combine in Chicago starting on May 9th and will go through until May 14th. The early entry players who haven't hired an agent are eligible for an invite.
You know, I have confidence in myself and my abilities, and I'm hopeful that I'll get some attention from teams and do really well.
The deadline for Mika to withdraw his name from the NBA draft is May 24th while maintaining his NCAA eligibility. Mika says he's a big proponent of the new change for early entry players.
If you can do that, if you can enter the draft, if you can go to the NBA while having that option in your back pocket, I mean, it's worth keeping it there.
According to ESPN insider Chad Ford, Eric Mika is projected a mid-second round draft pick. Mika is hopeful that he will be the next BYU player selected in the NBA draft, following the footsteps of Jimmer Fredette and Trent Plaisted. Reporting from Provo, Montana, Shaum, 11 News.
The Oscar Awards have come and gone, but here at BYU, we were blessed to have the Y Awards last night at the Marriott Center. 11 News reporter Montana Shaum is live at the Marriott Center. Montana, what was the atmosphere like?
Zach, it was a fun and energetic evening last night. BYU athletes were in a more informal setting and they really enjoyed themselves. 16 BYU student athletes, 2 coaches, and 6 teams were honored for their performance last season. The men's basketball team stole the show last night and took home the Team Performance of the Year for defeating the #1 team in the nation, Gonzaga. Led by Eric Mika's double-double, it was BYU's first time ever beating a #1 ranked team.
No, these guys behind me and the guys who aren't with us are really grateful for the support we had from all you guys, our coaches and staff. We had some ups and downs this season, that's for sure, but we were able to do something that we hadn't done this season in school history.
For the Female Crowd Pleaser Award, no surprise here, Cougar fans, the 2017 winner is
Cassie C. Money, Little Gemma, Broadhead.
Jamal J. Swag Daddy Williams broke BYU's all-time rushing record, surpassing Luke Staley. Williams ranked 5th nationally in rushing yards per game, averaging 137.5 yards last season. J. Swag Daddy collected a smooth 286 yards and 5 touchdowns against Toledo, breaking school records.
What's cracking, y'all? How y'all doing? I just want to say I'm grateful for this. I want to give thanks to my teammates, coaches, fans, everybody who came out.
Zach, my favorite part from last night had to be Jamal Williams' speech. When he came here to BYU, he was a 17-year-old boy. But now that he's leaving, he's a 22-year-old man. And the best part of it all, he was able to showcase his swag by wearing a bright pink vest. Zach?
That's great. Thanks, Montana.